Hey everyone, it's Tyler, the Antenna Man, and today I'm going to review the updated Televes Ellipse mix. This is a medium-high gain outdoor antenna packed with features, including a unique triple boom design, built-in split-band amplifier with automatic gain control, and a 5G filter update specifically for the FCC Repack in the United States. With a more compact design compared to other larger antennas, will this still be able to pack a punch? Stay tuned to find out. If you're a cord cutter or into antennas, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to receive a notification whenever I post a new video. Most of you probably already know, but for those of you who don't, Televes is a very large antenna company based out of Spain that's actually been around since the 1950s, just like other well-respected companies like Channel Master and Winegard. The company is vertically integrated, meaning that they handle everything from the design, manufacturing, testing, quality control, and distribution of all of their antennas without having to rely on outside source. Televes even makes their own chipsets for the antenna preamps, something no other antenna manufacturer does. There are many features I want to talk about with the Televes Ellipse mix. It has a very good build quality, specific with high-grade anodized aluminum, UV and saline-resistant ABS plastic, injected Zamac clamps, and stainless steel hardware throughout. The antenna is very easy to put together. It only took me about 10 or 15 minutes just snapping the directors and reflectors in place, and as crazy as it sounds, no tools are required for assembly or installation. The biggest change on this antenna compared to the Ellipse mix I reviewed in the past is the Repack Ready preamp. The former Ellipse mix model was already designed to peak in gain at around 600 MHz, so there are no changes to the antenna design itself, but the built-in preamp has been totally redesigned. Not only does it filter out a lower frequency to avoid 5G interference, but it is also basically two preamps in one. VHF and UHF are regulated independently as needed instead of together, which allows it to better balance signal and improve the quality, as a preamp will amplify VHF and UHF independently only by the right amounts to avoid overload, so more amplification can be added to each band independently as needed. The preamp is built directly into the active element on the antenna, amplifying gain at the source. This is the optimal way to do it, as signals captured by an antenna can be extremely weak and degrade quickly through coax and connections. By placing the preamp right at the dipole element, the Televes antennas are able to take advantage of every fraction of dB signal available at the preamp. A very sturdy and reliable construction is truly needed to be able to add a preamplifier right on the antenna, which Televes is known for. One of the features I love about the built-in preamp is the Powerless Pass-Through. What this means is if power fails to reach the preamp for whatever reason, the antenna will still continue to work without the amplifier and you will still have reception. Most preamps on the market do not have this feature, which means you'd likely lose all reception if it were to fail down the road. The Powerless Pass-Through is also very handy to see if you get better reception without the preamp plugged in. In some cases, a preamp will actually make reception worse. The option to see the results of the amplifier on and off without having to go up at the antenna and connect it and disconnect a separate preamp is truly awesome. This being said, that's typically not the case with the Televes antennas, since the preamps automatically and dynamically adapt their gain to the changing signal conditions so they will not override. Usually there is no harm in having the amp turned on if the signals are strong. The amp should back off the gain to avoid degrading the signals. The LTE filter on this antenna was also changed to cut off right above 608 MHz or RF channel 36 to prevent 5G interference. 5G is launching nationwide, so it's very important to make sure your antenna has a 5G filter. Otherwise, you may turn on your TV one day and see this. The Ellipse mix has the unique Televes triple boom design and a VHF corner reflector for decent VHF gain in a more compact size. Time for everyone's favorite part of the video, and understand this has to be said for first-time viewers of my channel. What is VHF and UHF? VHF TV stations broadcast on channels 2 through 13 and typically require a longer antenna element to be picked up, while UHF TV stations broadcast on channels 14 through 36 and are better picked up with smaller antenna elements. If you look at this antenna, you'll see the long element and corner reflector here is designed for VHF channels 7 through 13, while the smaller active element and triple boom directors are designed for UHF channels 14 through 36. How well does this antenna work? I tested it out in the same location I tested out various other outdoor antennas to see how it performs. Here are the results from the last two antennas I tested out on my YouTube channel. From left to right, you'll see the TV station, the call letters, RF channel the TV station broadcasts on, and the results of the previous two antennas I tested out on the YouTube channel. All of these TV stations are about 42 miles away with one mountain ridge between my home and the broadcast towers. You can also see the results of various other outdoor antenna models by checking out my other videos. The signal on KYW, which broadcasts on UHF channel 30, was higher on this antenna than the last two antennas I tested out. The signal on WCAU, which broadcasts on UHF channel 28, was also higher on this antenna than the last two antennas I tested out. The signal on WPHL, which broadcasts on UHF channel 17, was, as you guessed it, higher on this antenna than the last two antennas I tested out. The consistent results have me sounding like a broken record. The signal on WTXF, which broadcasts on UHF channel 31, was higher on this antenna than the last two antennas I tested out. WHYY, which broadcasts on VHF channel 13, was actually able to be picked up on this antenna, unlike the last two models I tested out. So this antenna performed very well on the UHF band while still picking up VHF better than most small directional antennas. The preamp didn't make too much of a difference in my particular situation since I use a 10-foot cable in my tuner, but I can assure you it may make a huge difference in weaker signal areas where the antenna may be installed outside with a longer cable. I would recommend this antenna for anyone who lives in a fair to weak signal area within 40 or 50 miles of the broadcast towers with most stations on the UHF band. If you live in a very rural area with very weak signals, look into the larger Televes long-range mix. It's one of the best antennas out there for the UHF band while still being VHF capable. I include a link to it attached in the description of the video. If you have a hard time understanding TV frequencies, VHF and UHF, and what antenna would be best for your location, I do offer antenna recommendations on my website at antennamanpa.com. Thanks to Televes for sponsoring this video, giving me the opportunity to review their great new antenna, and supporting my YouTube channel. Even though this video is sponsored, I have a lot of respect for Televes as a company. They are one of the only antenna companies innovating antennas and other over-the-air products for the FCC Repack. The other antenna companies seem to just reuse the same antenna designs over and over again from decades ago. While these old designs will still work in many areas, the fact remains that the UHF band has shrunk, requiring slightly larger antenna elements. Televes did take this into account when they designed this antenna. An additional thanks to everyone who supports me on Patreon or is a member of my YouTube channel. If my videos have helped you cut the cord, or if you just think they're cool and would like to help support them while gaining exclusive perks, such as behind the scenes content, access to my videos ad-free 1 day early, and direct contact with me, visit patreon.com/antennaman or click the join button in this video. If you're on Facebook, you can like my Facebook page at facebook.com/antennamanpa. If you're not on Facebook and would like to receive email updates whenever I post new videos, feel free to sign up to my email list. I attach a link in the description of the video. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel for more cord cutting and antenna related videos, and have an awesome day.